Hello and welcome. You're watching Head to Head. I'm Carrie Oderman with UATV. Russian President Vladimir Putin has revoked an additional protocol to the Geneva Conventions related to the protection of the victims of international armed conflicts. What consequences can this lead to? To answer these questions and more, we're joined in the studio today by Zakhar Tropin, Associate Professor, Department of International Law, Shevchenko University. Thank you so much for coming today.
Hello.
We're going to use your expertise. First, let's talk a little bit about the Geneva Convention. A little bit of background. Post-World War II, this protocol was designed to protect not only military personnel, but also civilians.
Okay. The matter is that it's not only aim of this protocol. This is a general aim of Geneva Convention, of four Geneva Conventions, the main aim of which is to protect participants of warfare, of participants of military actions. These four conventions are dedicated to the injured combatants, injured combatants after the sea wrecks, also prisoners of war and civilians. So this is for Geneva Convention. The main idea of the first additional protocol is to enlarge scope of protection and to introduce some additional methods of protections and some additional methods of control over the implementation of these four Geneva Conventions.
Okay. You've been in our studio before, and you've the popular argument that Russia doesn't respect international law, you have a different argument. They say they respect it, they just interpret it differently. Is it possible that this convention is so narrow in its description that they can't interpret it to their advantage? What's motivating their pullout from this protocol?
First of all, I would like to emphasize on this, because this is a very serious mistake in mass media which appeared on this information. The matter is that Russian Federation is not leaving this protocol. The Russian Federation still remains with this protocol, and this protocol will still active for the Russian Federation. Russian Federation only revokes its agreement for the activity of fact-finding commission. This is only one article, Article 90 of this protocol. But generally, protocol will still be active for the Russian Federation. And that's why this is a very important issue, because this is a very serious mistake in interpretation of these actions of Russian Federation. The matter is that this is only, let's say, some small point of this protocol, but generally it will still remain as active for the Russian Federation with Geneva Conventions, to which Russian Federation is still a party. This article 90 is dedicated to the fact-finding commissions, which was created under this protocol for the investigation of serious breaches of Geneva Convention and this additional protocol. So the only aim of these actions of Russian Federation is that Russian Federation doesn't want to participate in activity of this fact-finding commission.
So what does that mean? Does this mean that they won't allow fact-finding commissions into Russia, or they won't participate in fact-finding commissions in other places?
No. In accordance to this protocol, there was creating of fact-finding commission of 15 persons. And the very interesting argument of Russian Federation to this issue is that there is no members of Russian Federation in this commission, and that's why they are leaving this commission. But I think that the main idea and the main aim of actions of Russian Federation is that Russian Federation doesn't want to exist any institution which can investigate or in any other way interpret officially or bring to responsibility Russian Federation in connection with warfare or armed conflicts.
Now, you had mentioned this has to do with civilians, but also, interestingly, also seafaring people and what to do with shipwrecks. This
Yes.
would, of course, apply to situations that could be happening in the Sea of Azov, for example.
Of course, but I think that mostly, in this issue, I agree with some of expertise that this situation is much more connected with the situation with Crimea. And a report of Secretary General of United Nations concerning the situation with Crimea, within the Crimea. The matter is that within this report, Secretary General of United Nations stated there is some breaches of Geneva Convention within the territory of Crimea. And I think that these actions of Russia is actions ahead not for eliminate possibility, for example, for Ukraine to refer to this commission and to investigate officially situation with such violations within the territory of Crimea.
How does a nation like the Russian Federation pull back from an international agreement? What's the practical next step?
Next step, it will be official voting within the Государственная Дума of Russian Federation, the supreme legislative body of Russian Federation. And after this, there will be official presentation, official presenting of this denunciation protocol to the depository of the Geneva Conventions. And after this, there will be a stop of action of this protocol for the Russian Federation.
What does this mean for Ukraine? What does this mean for Georgia, perhaps, also?
Yeah, I think that this is in this situation, Ukraine missed a possibility. We missed this possibility to bring application to this commission. I'm not quite sure whether we still have time, this very short period of time, till this agreement of Russian Federation will be eliminated. But the matter is that it was, and still for a very short period of time, it is a very good possibility for Ukraine to bring application to this commission and for making investigation of the violations of Russian Federation of Geneva Convention within the territory of Crimea. And in this situation, it is very interesting. Even fact of taking this application in work within this commission will be very serious, serious punch for the let's say international face of Russian Federation. Why? Because even fact of taking of this application to the work of this commission, it will be recognition that there is an occupation of Crimea and that this situation is an international conflict. So this is, I think, important. But still, whether we have time to do this, I mean, Ukraine, I'm not quite sure.
Well, we might have a missed opportunity. It's always a great opportunity to have you in the studio. We'll have you back again soon. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
That was Zakhar Tropin, Associate Professor, Department of International Law, Shevchenko National University. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more with UATV.